Top of the morning to all of you. What's up? What's up? Man, I hope y'all are doing amazing out here. Hope y'all are doing great. Let me know if you can hear me. Happy Saturday to all of you. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the live hangout. We are hanging out for a little bit this Saturday morning. And although it is gloomy outside, all right, I still have sunshine within. So welcome to all of you. This is what's going on currently where I'm at. It's just looking really gloomy out here. You guys know what I do on Saturdays. I get my car serviced at Walmart, Wally World. All right. So they're pretty much done with everything. So now, thought I'd hang out with you all for a little bit. Let me know if you can hear me. My phone lighting keeps going in and out for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But happy Saturday to all of you. Hope you had an awesome week, an amazing week. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. The birds are chirping. And seems like the birds are happy. So, you know, we should all be happy for sure. All right. I also celebrated my 38th birthday on yesterday. So I'm pumped up. I'm excited about that. So this is technically my birthday weekend. So I'm excited about that. All right. Now we're going to give it a few more minutes, guys, ladies, and then we'll jump into this live. Okay. So the sky, it's gloomy out, but you got to have that sunshine in your heart, man. That's really what it's about. Having that sunshine in your heart, no matter what's going on around you, no matter how it may feel, no matter how it may seem, no matter how it may look, it's what's within you. All right. So shout out to those of you that are on live, and shout out to those of you that are going to be watching this on a replay. I'm excited to be able to pour into you something of value. And if you do have any questions or answers or concerns or feedback, you know, feel free to let us know. The community really appreciates that. I appreciate all of you. We're like a family. I really do. And, you know, if there's anything that I can do to help you and assist you along this journey, then definitely let me do that. Allow me to do that. All right. So I'm going to get into the live. I know we do have new subscribers, you know, so shout out to all of the new subscribers. And like I said, you know, it's been a lot going on, you know, in my personal life. But, you know, I'm sure all of us have things going on, you know, just celebrated a birthday on yesterday. I turned big 38. So I'm not 40 yet, but I'm getting close. So there's a lot of milestones and things that I'm trying to accomplish before, that I will accomplish before I turn 40. So I'm excited about that. But also, we're expecting a little baby girl here soon, within like 15 days or so. depending on if she comes early. So I'm excited about that as well. So it's just a lot going on. So kind of haven't been updating and uploading videos. But anyway, I'll just jump right into this live. So for those of you that don't know my backstory, I'm Mark McNeely, and man, I'm a father, um, husband, entrepreneur, and I experienced bad breath halitosis for many years. Um, you know, it went as far back as like eighth grade or so, middle school. I was very popular, very active kid. I did what other kids did. I ate whatever they ate, played whatever they played, sports, ball, pickup games in the neighborhood. But I had this ongoing breath issue. Um, I really didn't notice anything about it until some of my peers made comments, and so it was at that point where it became you know me noticing, I guess, identifying, oh, okay, I got something going on. But I was young, still didn't really know what to do, so I just brushed my teeth and things like that. Eventually, things got worse and worse. I think the main symptom or thing that I realized was just that I had this ongoing mucus that would produce. What's up, Cindy? Cindy's got a question. Thank you for um, joining us. What's up, John? All right, so basically, like I said, eighth grade, and I'll get to these questions, guys. Great questions. Keep them coming. More people will come on, or more people will watch the lives later. So anyway, and I've pulled over just so you guys know I'm in a parking lot. My car service is complete, but I figured let me just pull over so I won't do a live and talk and drive. But anyway, so eighth grade, I knew I had an issue because of some of my peers. So I would always eat candy and things like that, which I noticed just my tongue, my palate's on my tongue, it just made it worse. Um, but anytime I would eat like snacks and different things like that, um, breads and cakes and things like that, it would make the situation worse. The mucus would just be worse. Um, so that was something that I realized. That was something that I noticed, and so yeah. And when that happened, I really didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. But I knew that I had an issue. Man, this phone keeps going in and out. I don't like this. All right, so I knew that I had an issue with my breath because of some of my peers. Like I said, I was very popular, athletic. Eventually I got to high school. Ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. I had an ongoing issue, right? So basically, um, I just struggled with the mucus real bad. Anytime I would eat something, it would just be like the smell would get really bad, or the mucus would get really bad. So I ended up going to an ear, nose, and throat physician, where they would give me nasal spray. Um, I also would get dry mouth, right? So these are some of the symptoms that I experienced. And again, I ate anything, whatever. I was athletic. I was on the weightlifting team. I was on the track team. I was on the football team. So I was very active. It was not like I wasn't active at all. Maybe it would have been worse probably if I wasn't active, but because I was active, I was moving from sport to sport. I guess wasn't as bad as it could have been. All right, but anyway, I would buy these expensive mouth rinses and toothpaste, TheraBreath to be exact. I believe they were pretty much the only, what a leading halitosis bad breath product line out there at the time. And then I learned about some other ones later on. So eventually I went off to college, again, played college ball. And mind you, during my high school years, I wasn't getting picked at and things like that. I was always chewing gum. I was always just like having something in my mouth in between classes and things like that. As soon as class would get ready to transition out, I'm packing a bunch of candy and mints in my mouth or just different things like that to kind of mask the odor. Um, so I didn't never change anything with my diet or anything. I didn't know about anything about dieting. So after that, went off to college, played college football, was homecoming king in college. They class voted me homecoming king in college. My class voted me homecoming king in my 11th grade and 12th grade years of high school. That's the crazy thing. So I know it's not in my mind. I know hearing all of these accomplishments, most people will say, well, no, this guy couldn't have had a breath issue. I did, but it was just, I guess, like I said, I was very, very active, which, by the way, that can help with reducing smells and body odors. It's not the cure all, but it definitely helps. And I've studied this through testing with just different people, doing one-on-one sessions. A lot of females notice that they smell better, their breath smells better when they work out, when they're active. So, however, went to college, still had the lump in my throat, the mucus real bad. I just didn't really know what to do. So eventually, fast forwarding after that, all throughout college, I would deal and struggle with these metallic, bitter tastes in my mouth. Like it will feel like um, I had money or something like metal in my mouth. It was just a metallic taste. And I would brush and floss like four or five times a day. Um, and it would just still, man, it just wouldn't go anywhere. What else? I went to a breath clinic in Florida. I took the last little bit of money that I had, jumped into my Honda Accord, and I had drove like maybe during this time I was living in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I think this particular breath clinic was um I don't know, like a couple hours away. So I drove, left early in the morning, drove all the way to that clinic, and allowed them to do their procedure where they did a deep cleaning on my gums and scraped my tongue and gave me this really strong mouth rinse and things like that. I used it, and yeah, it didn't make a difference, right? It was still an issue. Um, Sorry about the loud vibration noise. That's so I'm in Florida, South Florida. So people they like to turn their music up extremely loud and just rattles and shakes everything. What's up, John? Yes, I still live in Florida. Well, I moved before. I moved to North Carolina, but now I just moved back to Florida. I've been here for over a year now. All right, so shout out to Florida. All right. So that's kind of what happened. That's kind of like my journey. So what I did was during that time period, like let's say, man, I'm trying to give ages. So my age was so out of high school, 18, 19, 20. I struggled all the way to like 25, 26, you know, um, you know, to like, 25, 26, I was going to doctors, I was going to gastroenterologists, and, when I would go there, they would be like, man, you're very young to be here. Like they would always tell me, you're so young to be in our office. Like, and they did, you know, different types of procedures on me. Um, they took a camera, stuck a camera up my system, up my rectum, looked around. That was one of the most uncomfortable feelings ever. They did all kind of tests on me, just running tests and looking to see, and everything came back normal. And they were just saying that, hey, you need to increase your fiber intake because I was starting to experience some bleeding. Like whenever I would use the restroom, I was experiencing bleeding, like some blood. And it kind of scared me, so I didn't know. And then I had another situation where my intestines had kind of tangled up a little bit. I didn't know it. I didn't feel like sick or anything like that, but I had got x-rays on my gut. And it was at that point where they put me on this fast, like this diet, where I had to eat, like just eat and drink like liquids for like a week. And that was like my first time ever like fasting from foods and different things like that. So I went back after like a week. I will say that that was one of the best things that I've ever done because I was able to eliminate so much poop and so much toxins from my system. Um, I released so much air, like the air and gas. It was just a lot, just in there. So I felt very, very good. I had long and full stools, um, something that I never really had. So obviously I was constipated. I didn't know, but I was obviously constipated. So then I went back to eating regular, eating the way I used to eat. I used to drink. Occasionally I would drink either liquor or beer. Really, was beer was my thing because I acquired a taste for beer when I was in college because that's cheap, and most times most college students can get their hands on beer because it's just cheaper. So that was my thing, and yeah, I just didn't really see any improvements in the way I smelled, my breath, and then the reactions that other people gave me when I would be around them. So I went on this long journey just trying to figure it out. Kept going back to the ear, nose, and throat physician because it was kind of like I'm having a throat issue. I'm having a lump in my throat. I'm having a smell. Like, what's going on? I got to figure it out. So fast forwarding, what happened was ended up getting a sinus surgery. I think I was like maybe 28, 20, 27, 28, somewhere around there. Got a sinus surgery. And after the surgery, I was like, okay, great, I'm good. Everything's good. I was on this very strong antibiotic. Started taking the antibiotic to help with making sure that I got no infection from the sinus surgery. And all they did was they went in, they cleaned out my sinus cavity. He used like some type of water, some type of pressure to clean out the sinus cavity to open up my nose and things like that. After that, I felt good. I didn't have any smells. There was no like, um, there was nothing. I was taking the antibiotic, and I think it was like maybe like a 1 week prescription. I can't remember the name of the antibiotic, but it was like 1 week prescription. And this antibiotic, it pretty much removed or stripped away everything. Like if I drink water or if I eat just something very simple, I would just use the restroom. It would just eliminate like immediately. So the antibiotic was really harsh on my gut, and it pretty much killed off any and everything that was in my system. So during that time period, I was good. I felt good. I smelled good. My confidence was up. I even tested just to see if I was free from the bad breath. So I would literally leave my house. So I'm not gonna brush my teeth, which I know that's not right. That's not cool. But I was like, I'm gonna test this. So I wouldn't brush my teeth. I would just leave and walk out, go out and about, and just mingle and engage with people. There were no reactions. People were all up in my face talking, and they were just like all up, up close and personal. Some people like to talk right in your face, which that's not me. I just never like that. But some people are talkers. Like if they're not able to look at you in your face like that, they feel like they're not having dialogue. But anyway, so people were up in my space, my personal space, my grill, no reactions, nothing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I went back doing and having the same lifestyle that I had before. I would eat whatever, drink whatever. So that's what happened. So about maybe like a month later, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks later, the bad breath came back after like I was done with the prescription and everything like that. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I went through this entire surgery. I spent all this money, and there's still like I'm still like not having results. You know what I'm saying? I'm not understanding. And and I began to think like, man, people, they're probably thinking I'm crazy. Like this stuff is all in this guy's head. Like what the heck? But it's like when you're getting certain reactions from people that you're not, that you smell, you're not crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're not crazy. So what's up, India? John is also in South Florida. That's what's up, John. So basically, um, I just I didn't know what else to do, man. I mean, I was just tired of going back and forth to the ear, nose, and throat physician, paying co-payments of $50, and I just was about to give up. About to give up on myself, my life, and things like that. I knew that I had so much purpose, and I knew that I had so much potential to be great, but it's just like, the breath was just an issue, and it stripped away the confidence that, I, that I that I needed, to survive. We need confidence to survive out here, in this world, in your career, in your passions, and your gifts and callings. You need to have confidence. You need to do it with confidence and not worrying about, oh, am I going to offend someone with my breath, or do I smell, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, after that, you guys, what happened was I said, you know what? I don't really know a whole lot of what's going on, but I did notice that when I took the antibiotic, it did something to my gut. It cleansed my gut. I pooped out pretty much everything. It was diarrhea. Like, so let me try to just go on a detox and just see if that's going to help me. Like, if that's the issue. Um, so what I did was I went on like a 30-day detox, a 30-day fast. Yes, I lost a lot of weight. Um, and I just ate like leafy green. I mean, I was sick of eating leafy green. So I would eat anything from salads to veggies, broccoli, cabbage, green. Like I ate anything green, anything plant based and green with a little bit of fruit. I pretty much ate it. And I did that for 30 days. I either would stir fry it or I would just eat it raw, like in its raw form. And in about maybe like 3.5, 4 days or so, I noticed that I didn't have that metallic bitter taste in my mouth. That was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that I did not have the mucus. Like the mucus just went away. So my light bulb went on. So as that started to happen, I said, okay, I like this. I know I don't like eating like this, but I do like the way I feel. So I started, moving towards that direction of, okay, if this is how I feel, I'm going to continue to try to eat like this, and to see if this is going to help with, correcting anything that needs to be corrected within the system. And sure enough, guys, after that, maybe like day 5, I started noticing that my poop, like whenever I would poop and use the restroom, my poop did not stink. It didn't smell. So like someone could literally come behind me like right after I poop, and they wouldn't be able to determine, or they won't be able to really tell that I pooped like I did number 2. So I like that. I said, okay, so obviously my system is cleaning itself, my organs are cleaning itself, my liver, my kidneys, and then I started learning more about the gut and more about the system and more about repairing, your intestines and things like that. And so it was at that point when I got my breakthrough. So what I had to do was I started creating some plans around, okay, well, what if I just reduce the amount of animal protein that I ate and eliminate the foods that causes a lot of mucus and things like that? What if I can eliminate that, free up my system, and just kind of, eat like in moderation? So that's what I started doing, and I noticed that my results, they improved, they stayed the same. And so I've been free from bad breath ever since then. So that's kind of like how my journey went. That's my story. It took time to get to build confidence, of course, because you sometimes you would guess in your head. I would guess in my head, well, do I stink? Do I smell? And I had trial and error at times. There were times when I would eat certain things and I would say, I don't like the way I smell when I eat that, or I don't like, you know, odors that I'm picking up, in my senses after I eat certain things. So I would eat it in moderation, and I would skip days, and I started removing a lot of, gluten-based foods and things like that, and just eating them in moderation. And so that's what I did, guys. And that's what helped me. That's what got me to the point of where I'm at today, is just eating in moderation and just seeing what worked for me. All right. So let's get some questions going. So how long did it take you to get rid of the bad breath, Cindy? Like I said, I would have to say for me to be confident, it took me about a good 30 days to be like confident. But I believe the process had started once the mucus started reducing, all right, and the metallic taste, which is known as really acid reflux. So I had a combination of acid reflux, which was responsible for the mucus, as well as a combination of, um, so it was a combination of acid reflux, mucus, and a combination of my system being compromised from the certain foods. My autoimmune system was being compromised. So in a lot of our treatment, what you guys will notice, if you ever pick up the 4-phase formula or the Candida diet guide, in the intense formula, we focus in on boosting your immune system. Taking vitamin C's, taking your magnesiums, your zinc, those types of uh, supplements are, you probably don't understand the significance, but it's designed to boost your immune system. Your vitamin D, vitamin B, calcium supplements is good to boost your immune system, because again, when your system is compromised from the foods that you're eating, right, it's triggered, it's sending messages to the brain that says, hey, there's a foreign invasion, there's a foreign pathogen going on in your system. Let's create more mucus. That's really what your body is doing. It's saying, hey, we need to create more mucus, because mucus is really good for, like right now, I'm sitting in the car, got the windows down. There's pollutants and stuff that's floating around that I can't see with my eye. But if we had like some type of microscope, you might be able to pick up on, pollutants just floating around in the air. When those pollutants go in my mouth or my nose, they go into my bloodstream. And then from the bloodstream, they can enter into the intestines. The intestines play a major part because it absorbs whatever's in the air, whatever's in your food, and it pulls nutrients from that. So if the system thinks that your body's being compromised, or it's being invaded by something, right, then your body's going to automatically, your autoimmune system is going to automatically shut down, and it's going to produce more mucus. So when you eat a lot of dairy products, a lot of processed foods, a lot of fatty foods, over time, your system is going to start feeling like, hey, something is invading it. And all this stuff I had to learn, I didn't know that right offhand. So that's why the extra mucus. So I had to deal with the mucus, and I had to deal with the acid reflux. My body, trying to, my stomach is pushing the acid back up to my esophagus. All right. So that's kind of what happens. All right. So India says, let's see. All right, let me go back. All right, Miss Mayan, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm also battling this right now. I have an upper endoscopy this coming week. Did you have one of those? Yes, I did have an endoscopy, and everything came back normal. One time I had like two of them, if I can recall, and one time everything came back. It was fine, nothing. Another time there was like some like inflammation a little bit within that, um but it was nothing really alarming that they felt that they needed to you know um you know tend to. Um so yeah. All right, Mbai Naji, I believe it is, says, but do you smoke? So yes, I do smoke um cigars. Like right now I smoke, actually I want one now. I'm actually gonna go get a cigar now. It's my birthday weekend, I gotta celebrate. So I do now. Okay, back then I did smoke. So let me say back then, like when I was in my 25s, 26, 21, I started trying to smoke. Um, smoked a little marijuana, a little bit, but I wasn't like real big on it, like real heavy on it. This is me being transparent. Um, but as in terms of like right now, I smoke cigars every so often. I do, uh, collect. My wife had, as of last year, my wife had bought me, a humidor, and for me to start collecting cigars. Um, so that's like my little hobby that I started doing now. But I don't smoke every day. I don't smoke every week. It just depends. Like something special, a special occasion, I'll light up a cigar. Cigars are more about the flavor and the taste. It's not about you inhaling, but I do realize it's still smoke, so there's a possibility that, of course, I could consume some of that smoke. But for the most part, cigars is just more so about when you puff, you're blowing out. It's about the taste. It's about, the type of cigars, the paper, the different notes inside of cigars. So that's I'm not justifying it, but that's what cigars are. Now, of course, there's warnings to anything we do. There's warnings to even smoking cigars. But there was a point in time when I was in my early 20s, young, mid 20s. Um, I was inhaling, so I don't recommend smoking. I don't. But however, if that's your thing, I would just say do it in moderation. I'm not gonna be on a live and say, well, I smoke a cigar, but you shouldn't. So I would just say do it in moderation. But it has no effect on the way I smell, my breath, or anything like that, because I do it in moderation, and my diet and everything, it complements me. So, with that being said, it doesn't have an effect on me. Like I don't have a dry mouth or none of that, not anymore. I used to. All right. So definitely get that endoscopy. That's going to help out, like for them to determine if there's anything going on. Also, I'm going to recommend that you all get a SIBO test, right? SIBO. Get a SIBO test and get a H. pylori test. If you don't know what those things are, you definitely SIBO is basically small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. Highly recommend you get that test done. They're going to test the hydrogen and methane levels. So for example, if I'm sitting here in this car and you're sitting where this car seat is, my son's car seat, if you talk, right, and a person can smell your breath from here to here, which it's still a close space, but you're not directly up on a person. If someone can smell your breath right there, um, 9 times out of 10, it's a gas, right? It's a methane gas, a hydrogen gas. So you need to go get that checked. So if that is the case, you may not need to eat leafy green or fermented type foods, because yes, that can make your breath smell worse. All right, it will make your breath smell worse. So you would have to go on a low FOD, like a low food type diet. You have to go on a low food type diet that's um, lower in sulfur. So a lot of proteins, a lot of beef, a lot of chicken, different things like that, a lot of vegetables, right? Fermented vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, kale, spinach, they're higher in sulfur. So as you're consuming it, even though it's healthy, as you talk, it will start to expel, all right, because of the bacteria. So what it really means is that when your system is compromised, your bacteria is supposed to travel from the large intestines out of your rectum, right, out of the anus. When you poop, it all should eliminate. Well, when your system is overworked and compromised, and you got leaky gut going on, you got irritable bowel syndrome going, you got a lot of these digestive issues going on that you don't really know about. What happens is um, bacteria gets into the small intestines, right? You're not gonna maybe feel it. Sometimes you'll feel it. Maybe like you can have like stomach cramps or stomach pains that they kind of come and go, um, but nothing like unbearable where you're like But it just may be a slight cramp. Like you may eat a bowl of pasta and maybe an hour later, 2 hours later, you get like a cramp, like a slight cramp. That's an indication that you have some type of digestive issue going on. You may be bloated. Like you may start eating, and you're like, man, I feel extremely full, like real bloated, but you haven't really finished all your food. That's another symptom, that you may have SIBO, or that you may have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or something like that. Okay. So basically, what else? I'm trying to give you guys an education. So those are so I would start there. Like if I had to do this all over again, which I didn't know about all this stuff, um, I would focus on getting some tests. Number one, I'm gonna get blood work. I need to know what type of blood type. I want to know what's my blood type. Are you A, blood type A? Are you blood type O? Are you blood type, AB? Okay. Knowing your blood type, because you can eat according to your blood type, and that's going to determine the way you feel, everything. All right. So that's what I would do. Get blood work. Hey, doc, could you tell me what my blood type is? Once you know your blood type, now you can eat according to your blood type, because there's certain foods that you can eat that's going to complement your blood, complement you. The next thing I would get is a H. pylori test. H. pylori, you can catch an H. pylori bacteria infection through anything. You can be traveling, you can drink water from another country, you can be at the restaurant and eat just using the silverware, and catch H. pylori because the forks and the knives and things are not cleaned properly. It's bacteria. You can get it through the water. You may be at a restaurant, say, hey, can I have water with lemon, please? They throw it in your cup, but the lemon is not clean, or whatever, or the water is not clean. You can catch H. pylori infection. Probiotics and things like that is not going to kill off H. pylori. H. pylori that bacteria can actually survive inside of even an alkaline environment. So let's say you ate all foods that were alkaline, right? Um, H. pylori can still live in your system, and that can cause very bad breath. H. pylori breath I don't know how it smells, but if you do studies on it, it doesn't smell good. So there's certain herbs and things, and they do give antibiotics to kill that off. So if I had to start over, I would just do the process of elimination. You know, you can start on a 30-day Candida diet. That may do it. Really Candida diets are 90 days, but you can start in 30. Normally you'll start, like, if you're killing it off right, you can start seeing results fast. It does get worse before it gets better. If you're taking certain supplements, my nose is itching, antifungal supplements, your body could start going through these different changes, these different you may even feel like you're getting sick. You can get headaches real bad, different things like that, because you're winging yourself from sugars, processed foods, caffeine. Right? I had my first cup of caffeine this week today. I hadn't had caffeine coffee all week, no caffeine. So I drink it in moderation. I don't like to get my body, um, hooked on it, because when you get hooked on it, it's difficult. Now it's mind over matter. So I put my body through these intervals of fasting where there's no caffeine, there's no sugar, there's no this, no that, for a certain period of time, and then I'll reintroduce it back into my system, and that's what worked for me. Did you try juicing? Yes, I have tried juicing. Juicing is good. I did juicing when I was going on the 30-day fast. I do juicing now. I still got some juice packets in the freezer now that's already pre-made, that you could just throw in the blender and they're ready. Um, a lot of you can move over to plant-based proteins. You can drink a couple protein shakes during the day. It's still going to provide you with the same or more nutritional value than you're saying, hey, I'm going to eat this or that. All right. So don't get fooled by, if I don't eat animal protein, I'm not getting the protein count that I need. Just look at gorillas, just look at elephants. They're some of the biggest, animals, right? But you know, they're not eating, they're not eating meat. They're eating plants and bark, tree bark, and roots and different things like that. So it's still, you'll still be able to get your protein in. Right? It's really just mind over everything. And then what happened is, you get yourself on a system, you get yourself on a routine, and then that's going to help you. That's going to help you. So it does get worse before it gets better if you're doing it right. Cindy says, I'm going through this right now, and the smell is coming from my nose, but doing nasal irrigation keeps a lot of water in my nose, which is weird. Yeah. A lot of times, Cindy, you may have to tilt your head forward or to the side and allow that to come out. Um, you may have to give it a couple of days and then, do it, start it over again. Um, a, 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 Here's a tip or a hack for you guys that you can start doing. Um, you can actually start using some organic, right? Organic, refined, unrefined um, coconut oil, right? You can cook with that, but you can also do oil pulling with it, and you can also consume it. Okay, there's been a lot of studies that shows that the lauric acid, and it goes back to, I did a video talking about monolorian. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. Matter of fact, you can go on my channel and type in monolorian or monoloria. I think I titled it monolorian. All right, but it has the same coconuts inside of the supplement, but you can actually consume, coconut oil. I cook with it. I cook with coconut oil, and I cook with vegan-based butter, and I cook with olive oil. Those are normally the three that I have in my home that we cook with. Um, but you'll notice, coconut, man, what it does is it kills halitosis extremely fast. Extremely fast. When I say extremely fast, that means when you get off this live, go to the store today, go get you a bottle of it. All right, coconut oil, organic. Get you some of that. All right. Now the only issue with that is uh the only issue with that is um it can make your cholesterol levels go up. It can make your cholesterol level go up. All right. So I wouldn't stay on it long term. Maybe like 7 to 14 days, just to see, because it's going to kill off the bacteria. It's designed to kill. It's designed to break up biofilm. Those biofilms does not like coconut for whatever reason. Coconut, it cannot stand it, so it breaks it up. So, you can oil pull for like 15 minutes, just switch it around in your mouth. I never was really big on oil pulling, but I have consumed some before through the mouth, and I'm talking about like night and day. If you did it today, you shouldn't. It should start killing off stuff to where in 24 hours or less, you can at least be able to. You should be able to at least operate at your job or wherever, and not offend. Like it shouldn't. You shouldn't offend people. It starts to kill like extreme. It's like it works like a strong antibiotic. It's weird. So definitely pick you up some of that, guys. Coconut oil. You can get you some for like $6 or $7. All right, and that's gonna help with killing off the whatever's in your gut and the digestive system. All right, you don't want to overdo it. You can do maybe like 2 times a day, one in the morning on an empty stomach, and then one at night. All right, empty stomach. All right, what we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? All right, Miss Mayan says, also, do you have occasional alcoholic drink? If so, how does that affect your progress? So, for me, I noticed that when I was trying to figure out what the situation was, the issue was, I was still drinking occasionally. It didn't help me. It didn't provide any benefit to me. Now, um, I don't really drink much. I had a drink last night, it doesn't affect my breath because I'm not a drinker. Um, I would prefer, for me, I prefer to smoke a cigar versus drink. That's just me. Some people, if they smoke cigars, they have a drink with their cigar. It helps with bringing out the notes, the flavors of the cigars. So if you're a cigar person, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a cigar person, you're probably looking at me crazy, like, what is this dude talking about? It's the same thing with wine. With certain wines, they have, like a coffee note with, you know, almond berry note. It's the same thing with wine, people. There's certain notes in wine when you drink it, you can taste it. It's a taste. Um, but it doesn't have an effect on me. Now it does. I will say that. Like I had a margarita, a strawberry margarita, and I didn't really like it. I had two of them. The first one, it went down. It was okay, and I was like, all right, let me have another one. And then by the time I started drinking a little bit of the next one, my stomach started hurting. Like it just made my stomach feel like weird. Like so, I was like, I think I'm done with the drinking thing. Which is not often, but if I had a choice, it would probably be a beer over like hard liquor or whatever. But the thing about beer is the yeast. You're consuming all this yeast. You don't want to overconsume it. So starting out, I just tell people eliminate it. Like if you're trying to get on a journey to cure halitosis and get yourself together, I would say you got to at least go like 60 to 90 days with no alcohol, no smoking. Like if I was starting all over, I wouldn't do it in moderation at all. I would just, my term I use, thug it out. I'll just thug it out no matter how stressed I am, no matter whatever the situation is, because you got to give your system time to heal. You got to give your gut time to heal, especially if you have H. pylori or if you have SIBO. You got to give your gut time to kind of to heal and get itself together. All right. Great questions, you guys. My B says, I smoke every day and I think it plays a major part in my issue. Thanks for the positive message and help. Appreciate you, fam. Thank you, guys. Cindy says, I have SIBO and everything I eat make my breath smell, so finding things to eat is very hard. Yeah, it can be, because again, I think the key is gonna be too, Cindy, is finding out what your blood type is. When you find out what your blood type is, again, that book I'm recommending that you all get if you can. I get no credit for it or anything like that. It's something that I'm still trying to finish reading. It's called Eat Right for Your Type. Eat Right for Your Type. And it's basically designed for you. There's meals, there's different foods that you should be eating for your blood type. So, for example, my blood type is a type A, right? Type A. Um, you have A positive and A negative. I'm not sure if I'm A positive or negative, but I've donated some blood and they just told me that I'm a A, but they didn't tell me whether I'm positive or negative. So because I know that I'm an um, A blood types naturally, I don't know why it's like this, but naturally we have lower stomach acid, right? We have lower gut acid. So that is also the reason why people can get SIBO or people can get, you know, uh, H. pylori or these different bacteria, because if they don't have enough stomach acid sitting within the system, within the gut to burn up these bacteria and these food particles, over time it's just going to start growing and growing with bad bacteria. And then now that's, you got yeast going on, you got all this stuff going on. So A's are not designed, we're not designed to eat a bunch of animal protein, and our systems have a difficult time with breaking down animal proteins. This is what it is. So, so what the book is recommending or suggesting for the A's is that the A's eat more of a plant-based diet. I know it sucks. I know that's not what your culture says, and I know that's not how you've been raised, right? You've been probably raised to eat certain foods, But that's just what the test and the findings that the doctor in this book um, suggests. All right, Dr. Adamato. So that's what he suggests through doing studies and on people for coming in and being tested on. So so you know that's kind of the thing. Now, for some people, just increasing your stomach acid can help kill off bad bacteria in the system and can take away your breath problems. It can. It just depends. Um, so how do you do that? You can drink 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in the morning before you eat a meal, and in the evening, um, with 30 minutes or so before you eat dinner. That can help with increasing your stomach acid. Or you can take betaine hydrochloric acid, right? With pepsin. Pepsin is a digestive enzyme that your body naturally already has, but you know, sometimes it works when it wants to, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on how much stomach acid you have going on in the gut. Some people have lower amounts than others. Like you might have siblings or friends or family that don't have a bad breath issue. More than likely, they have a higher level of stomach acid. I know family and friends, they can eat whatever, chicken, fish, ice cream, cake, all of that within the same day, and they're not rushing to the bathroom to brush their teeth, their mouth out. They're not. Oh, I need to freshen up. They're not doing that. They may have a higher level of stomach acid. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Cindy, you may have to increase your uh, stomach acid, and you may notice a difference in smell. Okay. You may notice a difference with the way you smell. All right. Well, these are great questions. Um, so that's what I would do, guys. Starting over, I would definitely focus on increasing the stomach acid. Don't overdo it because it will cause heartburn. If you're taking a stomach acid supplement and you are having like heartburns, that means you have too much acid going on. So you want to reduce the amount of supplement that you take. All right. But that's going to help you, especially if you're doing, let's say, a SIBO diet. And with SIBO diets, you can eat animal protein. It's just certain animal protein in smaller amounts. So you may need to take, a hydrochloric acid to help with digesting that. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be, but it does sometimes get worse before it gets better. But stay with it, stay the course, guys. Don't give up. Okay. Any more questions, guys? I know it's Saturday. You guys are just ready to wind down and chill. I've got my feet up, kicking back. Like this is relaxing to me, because it's been a long week. Just taking a load off, just sitting in the car, enjoying the cool little breeze, even though it's cloudy and gloomy. Feel good, no distraction, no noise, no kids. So this is relaxing to me and helping people. This is um, what I enjoy. So any more questions for me before we get out of here or take off? And remember, one day at a time, you guys. Stay the course. Try to definitely eliminate the alcohol. Try to eliminate the smoking if possible. Um, you know, one day at a time. One day at a time. Okay. No more questions. All right, so recap. I said recap, quick version. Go to the doctor, find out what your blood type is. Let him do your blood type, blood work. That's one. Because next you're gonna start eating according to the way your blood responds. That's how you cut down disease. That's how you cut down on cancer. That's how you cut down on um, these autoimmune, your system just not working properly. That's one. Number two, get tested for H. pylori, get tested for SIBO. When you go to your doctor, give your doctor the symptoms. Go to Google, type in the symptoms for H. pylori, type in the symptoms for SIBO. All right. Um, Obviously, Cindy has done that because Cindy stated that she had SIBO. So some doctors can be a pain in the what. Oh, why am I testing you for something you don't have symptoms? No, tell them you have these symptoms. That way you can get a test. So those are the two things. Those are the three things I would do. Like if I had to start over, those are the three main things that I would do because you're doing the process of elimination. Because if you don't have any of those three things, now it's more manageable to just start going to work. Now it's really more about your diet, staying consistent, killing, candida yeast. Most of you will have candida yeast, period. So you need to go on a candida diet. All right. I do have diets, a candida diet, and I do have an intense formula that once you get the 4-phase formula, if you don't have it, I have an intense formula that I will email you that's going to have all of the supplements specifically for a candida diet. It's a lot of them. Just get what you can, but it starts with a antifungal. See, a lot of you are taking probiotics and different things like that when you need to kill off the bacteria. When you're starting out, you got to start killing off the bacteria, and you got to start pooping regularly. All right, so that has to happen before you start on a candida diet. You got to start eliminating regularly, and then you start taking an antibacterial, like an antifungal type supplement. No probiotics starting out, because all you're doing is adding good bacteria with the bad bacteria, and you have an overpopulation of bacteria. We got to start killing off bacteria. And this is why when I was taking the antibiotics, I seen a little measure of success, but then I went back to eating the way had been eating and drinking and doing different things like that. And it wasn't all like the process wasn't complete. So you have to continue to complete the process. And you'll know when the process is complete because after 3 weeks or after 4 weeks, you won't feel a certain way. Like you'll still have the results that you're looking for. You'll maintain the results. If you have H. pylori and SIBO, it may take your system a little bit longer than most people that do not. So what does that mean? That just means that you have to stay the course longer. You may have to take a couple series of antibiotics. You may have one phase of antibiotics. They come back in, they retest you. They may put you on another dosage of antibiotics again. When you do that, once that happens, now you start on your candida diet. You start taking, pretty much you can, at that point, you can pretty much start taking your probiotics and getting that in your system now. Because, when you take an antibiotic, it kills the good and the bad bacteria. And you want to have, good bacteria in your system. All right. You need that. So that's kind of where that's like, if I had to do this all over again, that's what I would do. And from there, you should start to see, as you stay disciplined and stay, just stay the course, you should start seeing a change. You should start seeing, a breakthrough. Okay. All right. So let me see. Any more questions before we get out of here? All right. Okay. Marlena's. Okay, help halitosis and germs in the mouth. Has anyone tried it? I would say, Marlena, probably go with the coconut oil. Coconut oil, unrefined, switch that around in the mouth. I think that one's gonna work better than that. You can also take a teaspoon of that 2 times a day, once on an empty stomach. The next time you can take it like not on an empty stomach because you would already had food in your system, but like maybe before you eat dinner or something like that. Take it for like 7 to 14 days to see how your breath smells. Coconut oil, unrefined. Okay, I actually have some in the trunk. Let me see if I could go get some because I cook with it. You can cook with it. You can consume it. You can do oil pulling. Let me see if I got. All right, let me show you guys. This is it right here. All right, this right here kills or 6 or 7 bugs. You can cook with it. You can rub it in your hair. Man, it's good for everything. Smells good too. All right, this is it. You can oil pull with it. All right, cook with it, and you can swallow it. Like once you put it in your mouth, it'll start to dissolve, and just swallow it. And then let me know. Come back to this video and let me know how you like the results. Did you smell? Did you smell good, bad? Let me know. But this stuff here is good. The only thing is it can make your cholesterol levels rise, so you don't want to stay on it too long. Okay? So when you go to do your blood work and your doctor's like, hey, your cholesterol levels are high. It does say, let me show you guys the ingredients here. So there's no sugar in it. Cholesterol says 0 milligrams, but I guess over time, the total fat, 14 grams. So that's kind of what we're talking about, the total fat that has something to do with the cholesterol. But other than that, it's healthy. Get you some of that, cook with it. Swish it around in your mouth for 15 minutes. You can do oil pulling and, spit it out, rinse your mouth out, consume some of this, swallow it. All right. You thank me later. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? Yeah, the lithol. I've chewed some of that gum before, but it doesn't pull like this coconut oil. Like if you were going to buy something, or some of the other supplements that we recommend. All right. Hey, Cash, what's up, man? So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. It's been 1 hour and 4 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day. But you guys stay blessed. We'll be doing more videos here soon. So definitely stay up one day at a time. Email me, let me know how things work out. Let me know if you're having improvements. Please. I feed off of that energy, and I can share the information with others. If you are having breakthroughs, email me, let me know. I love to get you on an interview. It's not about me, guys. This is about you all. You guys sharing the results. Some people are very shy, and and I get it. It's embarrassing to, you don't want people to know. I've got people that have had breakthroughs from the information. A lot of people, and they're like, look, I'm not going on no video. I'm good. And then we have some that don't mind sharing their testimony or their story. But I like to know other people's stories. And if you're open and comfortable with doing an interview, we can do an interview. Put it on the channel and just bless other people, man, to let them know that hey, you know, you're not alone in that. You can make it. It gives people hope, man. You know, somebody has to be, you know, the person that steps out and you know, and lead the way. You know what I mean? If make a diet video on digestive system, which makes digestive system good. Okay, definitely do that. I definitely do that. Yes, I will. All right. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to serve you and talk to you and connect with you and let you in my world. Thank you for hanging out this Saturday. You could have been doing any other thing, but you were here with us. So I appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you all at the top. Take care.